Hello, sixth grade. Welcome to Tuesday, November 17th. Hope you guys had a great day, and let's go ahead and get started with your instructions for today. All right, so I have the revise and edit test code here because there are just a few of you that have not taken it, so I'll be reaching out to you. Number 2, we're going to continue with our mentor sentence practice on Tuesday. Then we're going to roll into our author's point of view and author's purpose mini lesson. Also want to remind you that in your novel study, you do have chapter 12 assignments, your vocabulary, your questions, your main event, and I've also included your wrap-up activity, which is a comic strip version of the novel. Be sure that you turn in the binder by Friday at 4 p.m. I say 4 p.m. because I don't want you guys to have to worry about turning anything in when you get home. That way you guys can enjoy your time off. And finally, we're going to be talking about your informational writing activity, focusing on the arms and cups of the paper, the revising and editing. So now we're really polishing up your paragraphs. Your transition words should be in there since we covered that yesterday. If you need help with that, please let me know. So let's go ahead and roll into your assignments for the day. So starting with the author's purpose and point of view, this is a mini lesson. I do want to stress to you, please do not skip any of the slides. Go through them in order. And in this activity, in this mini lesson, we're going to be focusing on author's purpose as well as author's point of view. And as you're going through this and as you are continuing to develop and really understand author's point of view, you want to make sure that you are understanding the why. Why did the author include information in the article? Okay. You also want to remember, what does this piece of information add to the article that nothing else does? Look at the what and how is this information unique? Okay, so you have an example here, a small little excerpt that you need to read, and then you have a sample question. Okay, the writer includes sentence 8. Please pay attention to the highlighted blue sentence in order for you to answer the questions. Now, one tip I want to give you is please, of course, read all of your answer choices, but look at the way the words in the beginning of each answer start. So is it to support? Is it to show? Is it to transition or to reveal? A lot of times, just by really focusing in on those keywords in your answers, that should hopefully help you try to find the correct answer. Okay, so now we're going to practice. Here you have an article, Wildlife Should Be Wild. Please pay attention to what's on the side here, guys, and what's highlighted or what's boxed, because those are some pieces of information that you want to look at. For example, it says, look at the title. It should tell you already how the author feels about the topics. Remember, we said when you look at a title, try to make an inference, okay? And then right down here, it says in this box in blue, what's the purpose of paragraph 2? So it's really important that you go through the article and read each chunk correctly, and then read what's in these little text boxes right here. Okay, so you're going to have 4 questions. Pay close attention to the wording of the questions. For example, in number 1, which statement best describes? Okay, you're looking at best describes the author's overall purpose. Looking at the beginning of the questions also, to make, to explain, to compare. Here's another, to explain. So be sure that you look at the way that the answers begin, because that should also be a clue to you and help you answer the question and pick the correct answer. Number 2 says, why did the author include paragraph 2? If you need to go back to paragraph 2, please do so and read so that you can go back and look at your questions or look at the question and the answers. Is it to explain, to describe, to show, or to explain? So sometimes you got to be careful. If you see 2 of the same, are they trying to trick you? Well, you got to read them carefully. All right, so you're going to have 2 more questions. The author includes paragraph 5, focusing in on those beginning words again. And then number 4, why does the author include the story of Maggie the elephant in paragraph 6? So go through this carefully and then go ahead and complete that for practice. And that is going to be author's purpose. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to go ahead and move into our mentor sentences. We talked yesterday on Monday about subject and predicates. Predicate is another word for verb. So you're going to come on down to slide Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. You can thank Miss Tribal for these creative slides. So Taco Tuesday, we're going to be talking about sentences and fragments. Sentences and fragments. I don't know about you, but when I think of the word fragment, I think of pieces. Like if glass shatters on the floor, there's pieces. There's fragments of glass. Have you ever heard of that? So kind of think about that when you're reading these groups of words. Okay, so you're going to read these groups of words right in here. Okay, and you have to decide, is this group of word, is this going to be a fragment or a sentence? So you're going to put an F or an S. Okay, if the group of words is a sentence, you're going to retype it correctly in the purple table by adding capital letters and correct punctuation. So, for example, Julie chose a good book to read. There may be something missing there. So, if you think there is, you're going to retype it down here. So, again, put an S for sentence or an F for fragment. So, that's Taco Tuesday, sentence or fragment, mentor, sentence practice. Okay, so now we're going to move on to your move into your informational writing. So I need you to go ahead and be sure that you click on your individual project, and you want to make sure that the slides are filled in correctly. I'm going to just click on the infographic and pay attention to the directions. This is due by Thursday, guys. This is a summative grade, a test grade. So you want to make sure that you go through your slides, make sure that everything that needs your attention, that needs to be filled out, is filled out. And for the infographic, remember, you needed to have gone through PictoChart. And that's further on down here in the slides. I know they're still loading. But you want to make sure that all of the slides have the correct information, that you typed everything in. So, for example, your pictograph, you needed to go to this website, look at the video to make sure you completed it and you created it correctly on your person. And then today we're going to be talking about the arms, which is revising, and the cups, which is editing. We'll be covering that today. If you have any questions on this, please get with me. All right, so last but not least, we're going to talk about your digital binder. Remember your digital binder, you have in here your chapter 12 for A Wrinkle in Time. You have your vocabulary. You have your chapter 12 questions. You have in here your main event, where you have to go ahead and explain what happened first, what happened in the beginning, what happened in the middle, what happened in the end. And as this is loading, I'm going to continue talking. So I want you to pay attention and make sure you fill this out completely. All right. Again, if you have any questions, you want to make sure that you address those with me. Email me, ask me in class, ask me if you're on the Zoom. So you want to make sure that you are filling out your quick write, and you have your vocabulary here. You also have some true and false, and then your opinion writing. Now remember, the expectation is you want to try to make sure you fill up all these lines. It's a very small space, and I know you are able to do it because you are scholars. And your writing has improved so much, guys. So I'm super proud of you. So be sure you get this completed, okay? Here are your last 4 vocabulary words: formidably, dwindled, illumination, and revolting. So be sure you look at these to help you answer your vocabulary in your chapter 12 questions. So here's your main events page. Remember, you need to tell me what happens first in the chapter, what happens next, and what happens last. And then finally, find an image on Google that you feel reflects the chapter overall. So please complete this. And then finally, we're coming to your wrap-up comic strip activity. This is going to be your wrap-up for the novel. Some of you are reading those graphic novels, those comic strip type books, which I thought was pretty cool. So I thought this would be a really good activity for you guys to go ahead and complete. You'll notice there are 6 boxes. So you have 2 boxes where you're going to be putting and finding some images that reflect the beginning. You need 2 images that reflect the middle of the novel and 2 that reflect the ending. Coupled with that, you want to make sure that in each of these boxes that you are typing an explanation of each of the images. Be sure you use complete sentences, revise and edit, as I will be taking this for a formative grade. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it. Oh, one last thing. Don't forget, you do have your audio recordings if you want to just coast into the last chapter and read along while you listen. Be sure you turn this in on Friday. Remember, this is going to be for a grade. If you have any questions, please let me know. Email me and reach out, guys. You have a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow.